And then, of course, you get into a reality check where you're like, they're not going to want to give you Gunther versus Ilya on a random Raw.
And
They want to,
that's the realization I had to have.
yeah.
I
And
had to have it.
I think that's what that's what happens, I think, with everybody, because you immediately have knee jerk reactions. You react emotionally in the moment. Kind of like what I think we always use this example of Cody losing at Mania 39. Everyone hated it. They wanted to revolt and tear the whole company down. They wanted Triple H fired, like everything. And then a year later, he wins the title, and everything that happened up until that point, you were like, okay, him losing at Mania 39 was worth it, you know? So it feels like, okay, hopefully in hindsight, this is going to be a moment where, okay, that's fine. But then at this, like, because of what they do with Ilya, but then at the same time, you have to remember Ilya wasn't going to win King of the Ring. So like he was either losing to Jey Uso or probably losing to Gunther in a week anyway. So I guess you got to kind of pick and choose your battles here.
You do. And that's the realization I had to have, that after watching Raw again and seeing the stare down they had when Ilya was giving the backstage interview, that this is not something you just throw together in King of the Ring and then hope their paths cross once again. Like, no, these are seeds being planted. We're gonna water them. We're gonna get some sunlight on it. Like, we're gonna take care of this motherfucker.
And also, Gunther did post that picture of them looking at each other when Gunther came out after the match, because now we know that the finals next week will be Gunther versus Jey Uso. So we posted that picture of him looking at Ilya, and he said like soon or later, whatever he said, So he's teasing it as well. But I think we talk about this too, about how there's not always a lot of overlap between the people who watch Raw and SmackDown and the people who watch NXT. It isn't always the same crowd. So it's probably more likely that people don't know. A majority of people do not know about the history between Gunther and Ilya for them to care about, him winning, and Ilya should have beaten Jey and gone against Gunther. Well, they're not going to be as excited about that because they don't know, first of all, what they've missed. So they don't have any expectations of what that could be if they had a match. So I think this is fine. I don't care about Gunther versus Jey Uso as long as Gunther wins, because I don't think Jey Uso needs to be King of the Ring.